Evening all, it's Patrick here, and tonight I'm going to turn one of the Slimline pens. It's the step 7 in the series that I've been doing. It's the one we've all been waiting for, to actually turn a pen. What we've gone through is we've gone through marking up the blanks, cutting them to size, drilling them out, gluing in the barrels, using a barrel trimmer to trim these out in reamer. And we've gone through kind of deciding what we actually want to build for a pen. So the next step is to actually mount it onto the lathe and do some turning. So tonight I'm going to set up the lathe, put some blanks on there, and go through turning them and walk through what it's actually like to turn the pens. After that, the next one will be on sanding and finishing the pens. But I'm going to go get the lathe set up and start the video. Okay, Patrick here, and I'm going to mount these blanks in the lathe and turn them. My pen mandrel here is not long enough to be able to put all the bushings onto two blanks at a time, so I'm going to mount one at a time to turn them. Now, if you remember we mark these blanks and cut them with denoting what the center band is. So I just need to keep that in mind, that when I put these on here, that for the bottom blank the center line is this way, and when I put the top in, the center line is towards here, because once you start turning these lines are going to disappear. So I'll go ahead and get set up here. I've got my pen mandrel. I've got one bushing for a Slimline pen kit. So I'll put my blank on here and then put another bushing. And then what I have is there's usually a nut that goes on here to stop the bushings. What I've done is I've gotten what they call a mandrel saver, which goes in here. Tighten down the tailstock. I'm just going to loosen this up a little bit first. Okay. I want to get my tool rest set up so that it's close enough but doesn't hit the pen blank as you turn it. So this way, you know, your tools and nothing is going to get caught when this is spinning. So I'll lock that down here. And then you want this, you know, I like mine just below center for my tools. It works well. As you start trimming down this blank, you need to adjust the tool stop and push it in and do that. And I'll turn on just to make sure. Alright, everything sounds good, sounds tight. Tighten it up just a little there. I'm going to turn on the vacuum. I'm using the carbide tools here, which work pretty well. And the thing with these tools are they're flat on the bottom, which works well on the tool rest, so that there's, you know, not a lot of rounding and slippage. So with these, you want to keep them fairly flat as you put them in, and just kind of go back and forth. Then on the ends here, since there's a lip from the barrel trimmer, trim these up. Tighten that up a little.
pause here, and you can see this has come down quite a bit already. What I want to do tonight is I want to take these ends and get them down to about the thickness of the bushings here. Since this is the center band, what I want to do is kind of make this pen tapered a little bit. So this side will go down to the center band, this will go down to the center band, but I'm going to leave some size in the middle here for the pen shape for this one. So what I like to do on these is get the ends down pretty close to where the final bushings are, and that allows me to give some thought to the dimensions for the thickness in the middle. Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to take it all the way down with your tools, because when you go to sand this, depending on how aggressive you are in sanding, you can take the rest of this down as far as you want. Now it's looking pretty good to where I want it. Tighten that up a little. Got a little bit here left to do, but that's about where I want to be before I start sanding. Go ahead and loosen the tailstock. Now I gotta remember that this was the center band. So when I go put it on my holder, I put the nib side down so the center band part is up. And on this side it's reversed. Center band's on this side. That just helps with the keeping the grain as consistent as possible. Now on the top here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring the sides down quickly and then leave a little bit of taper in the top. Now since there's a pen clip that goes on the top here, I don't want it to be too bulbous in the middle, so I'm not going to taper it as much for that. As you can see, it doesn't take a whole lot to get these down very quickly. Alright, test out my fancy new brush here. Oh, nice. A wool sweater is not probably the best thing to wear when you're turning. Perfect. Just what everybody wanted to see me cleaning up, I know. Okay, and there we have it. We got one pen roughed down. Just need to sand it and finish it next. So I'm going to go ahead and kick out a couple more of these, and then tomorrow I'll do a little segment on sanding and finishing. Thank you all. Have a good night.